Hey guys, I just wanted to make a short comment concerning this rift between, let's say, Dane Calloway fans and Pan-Africanists or the Pan-Africanist movement. Uh, Dane Calloway is one great documentary maker. He has helped people realize their roots, especially African Americans, their roots that they're actually the indigenous people of America, and that's a huge thing. I don't know if it's a majority or a portion of them African Americans that are indigenous to the Americas, but most likely it could be a large number. And these people feel like, some of them feel like Pan Africanist is taken away, or they see it as a scheme that was put to take away from the reality that some or a majority of them are actually indigenous to the land and do not have the roots directly in Africa necessarily. So, yeah, and I feel like the Pan Africanist movement is taken away from that and has taken the limelight. And some Pan Africanists view this whole movement of black people in America discovering the roots that they are indigenous to the lands, taking away from the Pan Africanist movement and the unification of black people globally and the whole economic revolution that they're trying to do and all that. And it gets a bit into like the whole political sphere as well. But I just wanted to set the record straight and come to an understanding and rightfully divide the word from truth and error. All right. I guess both camps or both schools of thought have validated feelings and concerns concerning this thing, but I think that black people across the board and all over the world, regardless of their heritage, should always respect one another and understand one another. And I feel like indigenous people who are black and copper colored in the Americas, the fact that they're discovering their roots is a big deal, and we shouldn't lose sight of that because these people have been cheated of their heritage and their roots for so long, and some of them have been made to think that they're directly linked to Africa when that may not necessarily be the case. They have indigenous roots in the Americas themselves, and they were here before Columbus was here. And way back in time, like indigenous people in America were copper colored and black, had communications and trade with black people in Africa as well. So let's not lose sight of that, okay? And I think that's what we should go back to. And I think that's okay. This is why I'm not throwing away the Pan Africanist movement out the window, also because I feel like there is some merit to that too, and I don't think it's just a big scheme to take away from the reality of these indigenous people being indigenous to the lands and rediscovering their roots. These people who are black, that's the ones I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the white Native Americans. Yeah, because at the end of the day, I really think that black people around the world, we're at the bottom and we need to heal ourselves, or heal psychologically, spiritually, and also economically, because that's the best way to rise up, and that's what's going to lift us up. And all these infights and all these misunderstandings, I think we need to do better. I mean, we need to have a better temperament and a better perception. And just because of black people in America is rediscovering the roots, I'm saying this to the Pan-Africanists who are not liking this thing that's happening on the other side. I think that's not a bad thing. I mean, you have your heritage. I think it's important that they understand and realize their heritage too, especially if it's the truth. We can't close our eyes to the truth. The truth, regardless of what it is, it matters, it's important, and it doesn't mean that these people are going to hate on Africa or hate on African people. And I think that's one of the fears. I think when some of these people hear that, people say that, well, I'm not African, I'm indigenous to the Americas, or I'm an indigenous person, I think to some people's ears it sounds like a black person saying that they're not black, because Africa's been so deeply associated with being black. But the problem with that concept is that the concept of Africa is geographically limited. It's geographically limited. None of these people are saying that they're not black, obviously. All right, but they're not directly linked to Africa in a geographic sense. They're more linked to the Americas in a geographic sense because that is where their heritage is based in. All right, but melanated people around the world, and we're all black, and the hammer is still heavy upon us. The hand is still heavy upon us. The hand of the oppressor and elite oppressor is still heavy upon us, and regardless of where we are, whether it's Australia, Ghana, Tanzania, South Africa, the Americas, South America. I mean, the elite don't care where you are in the world or to which tribe you belong to which nation you belong to. As long as you're black, globally speaking, we're at the bottom. Psychologically speaking, we got the lowest self-esteem probably. And those are matters that we need to really deal with and heal. And they're not going to change just because your heritage is here or there. You know, the method and solutions and tactics are still going to be the same. We got to heal psychologically, we got to heal physically, we got to heal ourselves and build ourselves economically. And like I said before, I think Pan-Africanists have a good thoughts on how, on the economic side of things, you know. What Dane Calloway is helping people realize, it's more of a social thing, more of a heritage thing, but I think it's also important because there's a psychological and even spiritual healing that comes with that, you know. So that's still important. It still has this merit, it still has this part. And I mean, whatever supports the healing and of Black people around the world, regardless of in what manner it is, I think is important. So, I mean, no need for Dane Calloway fans or people who are discovering their indigenous truths in America to like hate on African. I don't think the majority of them do. I think they're just trying to set the record straight, and I think they have a pain of being deceived of who they actually are. You know, that's a heavy thing. You know, I mean, some of these people are moody AF when they talk to you, but you just gotta bear with them a little bit. You know, because no one likes being lied to, especially at that level. You know, especially at that level of who you are. No one likes being lied to at all. And it's really painful. And like, big props to Dane Calloway for helping people to realize their roots. You know, a lot of people come into the truth. So I think that's an admirable thing. I don't think that's something to look down upon. I don't think that's something to hate. So it's a great thing, you know. Any Pan-Africanist out there who feels negatively of what Dane Calloway is doing, let's try not to be too selfish there. All right, let's try to be more understanding. I mean, I can understand to some degree your pain, but don't forget to put things into perspective, and that everybody needs to heal, and everyone's on their own level healing. Okay. All right, doesn't mean that they're gonna hate on Africa. Doesn't mean when they're not gonna understand the importance of the unification of the Native people around the world, Black people around the world. Because, I mean, united we're strong, divided we fall. You know, it couldn't be any more true. All right, and if any of you Dane Calloway fans may have before thought that you got put away the whole thought of Africa altogether, economically, politically, psychologically, I think that you may want to rethink that. I think you may want to rethink that. If you've thought that Africa is not important anymore, then I think you may want to rethink that as well. You know, that your brothers and sisters around the world are always going to be important. You know, and at the end of the day, we need healing for our nations. We need to heal ourselves psychologically, economically, and spiritually as well. And keep uplifting one another with words that uplift one another. You know, let's not tear each other down. Let's not have any more inner fights. Let's try to be mature people and understand one another. And yeah, I mean, let's have some integrity. Let's have some honesty. Let's be able to be bold and face the truth, because the truth is what's going to liberate us firsthand. You know. And yeah, that's my 2 cents. Peace and blessings, everybody. I think we need to have the right temperament with these things. And I just want to make this video because I felt and thought that we needed to come to our harmonious understanding. All right, we can't be pitted against one another. All right, let's just understand one another. Let's put each other in each other's shoes. All right, we should not be enemies, and I don't think we are enemies at all. There may be, of course, a couple people around who say this and say that, and the comment section of YouTube is just, you know what you're gonna find there. All right. But let's rightfully and honestly understand one another, and let's not forget to have the not just intellectual intelligence to say what we think, but the emotional intelligence to understand how the other person feels about what we say. All right, and yeah, let me know if you guys are watching this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If this has been a good video, bad video, or if my thoughts have been biased, or you know, just whatever. You know, just jump in the comment section and say what you want, and don't forget to be respectful as well. You know, don't. I go to the comment section sometimes. Some people just tear each other people down. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, I just want to make this short video. It's well over 9 minutes, but whatever. Just had to put it out there, and I don't know if anyone's gonna see this video, but if you do, then thanks for watching. Thanks for watching this far. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Peace out.